Next in line, Staten Island, is this 2002 Dodge Ram. Hopefully this will be more straightforward than the last couple cars we looked at. So, customer complaint is that when he's driving, I mean, this truck has been sitting for a while. He said he hasn't really taken it on a good test drive. It's not legal for the road right now. However, I think we can recreate the problem in the parking lot here. The battery was disconnected. All the codes are clear. There's no codes right now. However, when we start it, we do get a code that is related to drivability. It doesn't turn on the check engine light. However, it's a transmission code. There's no communication with the transmission control module. In this case, it's not part of the computer. It's separate. And another symptom of that is the prindle. See, it's like, the truck runs fine. However, there's no prindle display. The end just flashes once in a while. Don't worry about the ABS light. This computer PCM has been replaced a few times. The engine's been rebuilt. It's kind of a, one of those trucks. But if there's no communication with the transmission control module, obviously this thing, will drive like crap. So let me show you the codes. And if there's no comm, what does the module need? Power, ground, and ability to communicate, right? So let's pull up a wiring diagram, look at the codes, and see where this takes us. Alright, trouble codes. So in the engine, it's federal emissions, automatic with AC. Right here in the parking lot, truck seems to run great. Codes only. No skim bus messages received, no transmission bus messages. Now the skim, I'm not really worried about it since the truck actually starts and runs. That's because the PCM was replaced and was not properly programmed. But that has no effect on our operation. However, no transmission bus messages. That is a problem. Let's try to communicate with the transmission. Let's try to read some codes. We get a no comm. So this is a no comm case study with the transmission control module. That explains no prindle, explains poor driving. Obviously it's in like limp-home mode. So pull up a wiring diagram, take a look at where this thing lives, and just do some basic checks. Alright, on BBB Industries we have the 4.7 liter V8. This is under transmission controls. So it looks like we have a 40 amp fuse feeding a transmission control relay. And then, so let's see, that's the control side, that's the load side. There's a ground on the control side here, pin 86, and 85 is power side switched by the transmission control module. So, okay, that's good to know. So we'll check this fuse, we'll check this relay, and how does the transmission control module know when to energize its own power relay? Well, let's see. It has to do with the ignition switch, obviously. Okay, ignition switch right here. Off is 0, 1 is start, 2 is run. So 0, 1, 2. Ignition switch output off, run, start. And then ignition switch output, run and start. Excellent. So I think we should start with the main fuse here and the relay since they're easy to get to. Should be under this box. Let's see. It says fuse 5 and transmission control relay. And then looking at our little schematic here, which is really nice of Dodge to label everything, unlike the Nissan we looked at earlier. So fuse 5, it says 30 amp transmission control module. Okay, and fuse 5 would be in the top row, you know, bigger fuse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy right there. And by the diagram, it should feed pin 30 on the transmission control relay. So instead of, you know, we can visually inspect the fuse, but you can't really inspect it with your test light since it has that plastic cover on top. We'll just go right to pin 30 on the transmission control relay. And that relay, there's a whole bunch of them over here. If we look on the numbers, okay, 59, transmission relay, excellent. 59 is that guy, and it's that guy, the one with no markings on it. So someone's already been here. And it's nice that the pins are labeled. So let's get our trusty test light out, hook the ground, make sure it works. So pin, let's just check all the pins. So that one has constant power, next one does not. So bottom left is constant power, and that would be that guy right here, and that is indeed pin 30. Excellent. So we have our fused battery power from our fuse, so our fuse is fine. It's good to hear. Now let's see, what else can we easily check right now with the test light. 86 should be a constant ground, and 86 is the other corner, so bottom right should be a constant ground. Let's hook up our test light to power, make sure test light works. Bottom right, yes, we do have constant ground. So now we're worried about the control and the pin that goes to transmission, you know, the load side, pin 87. So the control side, we can put a test light there. Remember, this is power side switched, so we need to put our test light on ground, make sure it works. Excellent. So we want to be on pin 85 now, and that would be, I believe, that guy there. Again, look at your relay for reference. Nope, that's 87. 85 is top left, that guy there. So I'm going to set the test light up, and that should, well, I mean, you should come on with the key is in the run position, I assume. So we'll set that guy up here. Alright, let's see. Focus you guys on the test light. You see it through here. Yep. Let's see. So key's off. Key is in the first position. Key is in the... Oh, I'm just touching the key. There, that's on. And test light's not on. And when I turn it to start, what the heck? Flicker, flicker. It's off. I'm jiggling the key. I love test lights. Let's try that again. Key on. Jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. That's pretty definitive. We jiggle the key. The control pin on the from the transmission control module, TCM, lights on and off. So that means we're going after this ignition switch. So if that's the case, we have to scroll further down in the diagram. The weather's beautiful. Okay. So 0, 2, and 1. And start and run. Okay, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this wire right here. It's supposed to be hot in... Why would they label it that way? 3 is lock, alright. 4 is accessory, okay. 0 is, oh, so that's the first position, 0. That's like off. You would think that would be accessory in most cars. So anyways, red wire going to a splice, going right to our transmission control module, ignition switch output, off, run, start. So I want to get to this ignition switch, find this red wire, put a test light on it to ground, and see if that feed is dropping out. Well, we're definitely on the right track. If you look at the test light, I was just touching this connector right here. That's all the main wires. And look, you guys can see that. And I'm touching it right now. There it is. There, I'm putting a little pressure on it. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So is the problem in the connector? Is the problem in the ignition switch? Not quite sure, but we're definitely very, very close. I see a lot of tape, a lot of crap. As long as we can keep that light and put that relay in, I think we should have communication with our transmission control module, right? Well, I mean, we already called the ignition switch, but since it's so easy to take apart, look at the test lamp, and we have the switch in the on position. That's on, our test light's off. So which one of these little contacts goes to this red wire right here? Well, I poked around a little bit, and this guy right there, so it's lit, and I move it a little bit on, so lit, not lit, lit, not lit. And look what happens to our prindle. When it's lit, hurry and park. When it's not, boom. So I don't know if I can tighten this up or not, or just obviously tell them to get a new ignition switch, but I want to prove that the transmission works and that we can communicate. And that should be it. We can just plug in the relay, clamp this little contact down so our light, you know, our light stays lit, and that will prove that this will be the fix. Alright, camera battery is on its way out. It's been a long day. So, key on. So I'll squeeze this little contact, and we'll go to our, it's going to be hard to do with just one hand, codes. Yay, we're in. Code is battery was disconnected. Sweet. So in this state, we can take it for a test drive, see if it runs good, but that's the problem. Ignition switch contact loose. It doesn't look burned, it just looks like this strip lost its bendability or whatever, and that's it. So appreciate you guys watching. It's always an adventure in Staten Island. Huge learning experience. Thanks so much for Keith for giving me these awesome case studies, letting me get my ass kicked, and that's how you learn though. So see you next time. Bye bye.